Deep in Australia lies a secret older than the dinosaurs themselves. It is a living treasure hidden away from the modern world. Knowing its true location could literally destroy this ancient, fragile species. I have farmed for decades, but this plant breaks all rules. This is the Wollemi Pine, the world's rarest and oldest tree. Imagine finding a living, breathing dinosaur hiding inside your own backyard. That is exactly what happened here during 1994. Amazingly, a park ranger rappelled into a deep, completely unexplored mountain canyon. He found strange trees with bark looking just like bubbling chocolate. These exact trees were supposed to be extinct 90 million years. Scientists were completely shocked when they tested the strange leaf samples. They had found a true living fossil inside the Blue Mountains. Fewer than 100 adult trees existed in this tiny gorge. As an agricultural expert, I find their survival absolutely mind-blowing. The canyon microclimate protected them through ice ages and extreme wildfires. Their root systems engineered a perfect balance with the rocky soil, but this extreme isolation also made their immune systems incredibly weak. They never evolved to fight modern agricultural pests or common diseases. This brings us to the shocking reason for absolute government secrecy. If hikers find this canyon, the entire species will likely die. Just one dirty boot can carry deadly microscopic pathogens and fungi. A common water mold called Phytophthora causes devastating root rot disease. As a farmer, I have seen this mold destroy entire orchards. The Wollemi Pine has zero natural defense against this modern killer. So, the Australian government took unprecedented measures to protect this valley. Only a few elite scientists are ever allowed to visit it. They are flown in blindly using special helicopters with blacked windows. Upon landing, they must undergo intense chemical sterilization of their gear. Every single tool and piece of clothing gets heavily sanitized beforehand. A single stray seed from another plant could disrupt everything here. The trees themselves are massive, growing up to 40 meters tall. Their multi-trunk structure is a fascinating example of natural engineering. If the main trunk dies, dormant buds sprout into new trees. This cloning ability is exactly how they survived for millions of years. Many trees in the canyon share the exact same root system. From a biological standpoint, this makes them extremely vulnerable to infection. If one tree catches a disease, the entire ancient grove dies. In 2019, a massive megafire threatened the gorge. Firefighters deployed specialized irrigation systems right inside the remote wild canyon. They pumped hundreds of gallons of water to save the trees. Specialized aircraft dropped heavy fire retardant perfectly around the canyon edges. Thanks to these heroic efforts, the secret wild grove barely survived. However, keeping a secret is never a perfect, long-term strategy. Someone will eventually find them, bringing terrible risk to the grove. So, botanists decided to use advanced agricultural techniques to save them. They began carefully taking cuttings and seeds from the wild trees. These cuttings were brought to highly secure, sterile government greenhouse facilities. Here, scientists began cloning the Wollemi pine on a massive scale. It is like backing up computer data, but using living genetics. By growing thousands of trees, they ensure the species cannot die. Today, you can actually buy a Wollemi pine for your garden. Spreading them globally creates an insurance policy against their total extinction. They are now growing in botanical gardens across the whole world. Yet, the wild population remains highly protected and completely legally restricted. Fines for entering the secret canyon run into hundreds of thousands. Even commercial flight paths are routed away from this hidden gorge. Satellite imagery on public maps has been deliberately blurred out forever. This level of extreme protection is completely unheard of in botany. But when dealing with a living dinosaur, you take no chances. Studying these pines teaches us about climate resilience and ancient biology. Their strange, dark green leaves look somewhat like a fern frond. The unique bark structure actually protects them from moderate surface fires. In winter, the tree produces a waxy cap over its buds. We call this an ice cap, protecting the delicate growing tips. This adaptation proves they survived periods of extreme global cooling events. No other known conifer species uses this specific cold weather defense. As someone who loves the land, their resilience is truly inspiring. Nature engineered a perfect survivor, hidden safely inside a rocky vault. Modern agriculture could learn a lot from these slow-growing giants. They prioritize deep, strong roots over fast, weak canopy branch growth. The secret location allows them to maintain their fragile, ancient ecosystem ecosystem. Without human interference, the delicate soil microbiome remains completely, perfectly intact. Every fallen leaf and branch recycles vital nutrients back into soil. Fungi and bacteria in the dirt work perfectly with tree roots. Bringing foreign soil on a shoe would shatter this perfect harmony. So the Australian government will never reveal the exact map coordinates. We must accept that some places are not meant for humans. The Wollemi Pine belongs to the Earth's distant, forgotten ancient past. It is a privilege just knowing that this magnificent tree exists. By keeping it hidden, we show true respect for natural history. Plant one in your yard, but leave the wild ones alone. Sometimes, the absolute best conservation strategy is simply doing absolutely nothing. Let the secret canyon remain untouched for another 90 million years. The world's oldest living tree deserves to rest in complete peace.